agenda would be the curb appeal program. And I am gonna call on Renee to, update you a little bit on what her and John found out when they went to Seymour and talked to the mayor and the people over their program over there.
I'll just stand up here. We did go and meet with the, folks at Seymour, and I bear in mind that there are 21,000 people in Seymour versus our 3,400 or so. So we can see that we can do things just like a big town can, but they taught us about the curb appeal program. And John, I need for you to speak up if I get this backwards, because that could happen. Do you have to film?
Yes.
The curb appeal program has to do with folks' home that you see from the street or a side of the home that you might see. It's a beautification program that Seymour has adopted. It took it a year or so to get off the ground, and they're doing a great deal with it now. They're enjoying what they're doing, and the people are happy that it's there. The curb appeal says, for instance, I'll just say that Patty's house, we need to paint the porch railing, have it painted, and we need to fix a step going down to the street. And she would like to have some landscaping there, a little bit. We can help her up to $500 of the expense. It's up to her to buy the paint and the nails and to have the work done. And we will reimburse her half of her expense. Now, a lot of people will say, I can't afford to do this or to do that. This program gives them a chance, and they can just say, I only have enough money to have paint, and I'll have Jim's Painting come and paint it for me, and altogether it'll be $200. So there is a process that we do for forms and to bring them along and to show them how to do it, and pictures before and after. It's a help for folks to get reimbursed for things that they just maybe would be right on the cusp of being able to do, okay? Am I coming along like you think? Okay. There is also another part of the program that if you have two neighbors that want to buddy up, and let's say that Shantina and Patty's porch railings both need done, okay? We can go up to $1,500 for their total expense for them to get reimbursed for half. Okay, just remember, the town does not do the work. They cannot have a husband or a son do the work and pay him, and that's the way it is in Seymour. We may have to tweak ours just a little bit, but everything has to be done with an invoice and stamped paid by the homeowner. Then they can bring it to us and we can give them back half of their expense. It's a novel idea. It was something that took off in Seymour in the second and third year. It took them a little while to realize that if they spent $100, they would get 50 of that back. If you spend $500, you're gonna get $250 back. Okay? Does anybody have any questions that I probably won't be able to answer, but I will sure try.
And that's up to $500 as
Per
an
house,
individual.
per individual home.
2 homes, it's up to
Is it 1,000 or 750?
1,500 or
1,500.
750?
Yeah, they can get as much as $750 back
Back.
between
So
the
it could
two
be
of them.
1,500 between the two, if you had two. One person's just 500. So they're trying to get where two people could go together, maybe, and get
And
more
reduce the
done
cost a little bit.
for their area.
That would be two neighbors right
Yes, next to
Together, right.
each other.
next to each other.
Now, it can't be work that you're doing this year and want us to reimburse you for next year. It has to be in the confines of the program. Somebody will say, well, I just got finished doing my railing, you know? Well, let's find something else. But I can tell you that one picture that they did show me, we do before and after pictures. And one lady would like to have had some landscaping done. She bought the the materials for it. She had it done. And it, to me and to them, it really didn't have to be a licensed contractor. It could be somebody in JBQ's painting or ABC Mary Jane landscaping, but they have to pay, okay, and they have to buy the product. Then we go out and we take after pictures, which is really cool. It's a way that you can afford to do some things if you can get some of that back in the form of cash. Okay, I would be excited to help town do it. I think it's a great opportunity for us. We're gonna have some other things that I know are coming down the pike, but that is called Curb Appeal, and we do know that Seymour, Indiana is doing it now. They're starting their 3rd year, and I think he said they had almost 100 people that had expressed interest for it.
Now, is that a permit process? You mentioned before and after pictures, so I'm sure that the before is part of your first inspection.
Yes, they have a form that they'll fill out. They'll fill out a form, what they would like to have. We go and look.
With an estimate?
No, it's just up to them to have the work done.
Okay, then
Okay.
that comes in later.
Yes, after it's finished. It all has to be finished, and we'll go out and take after pictures. Now, this could even be just like a front door, or maybe a front window. You just need one window, okay? If you buy it through a window company and they come out and they install it for you, and it's $450, then that's going to be what your receipt will be, and then we will reimburse them for half of their expense.
Mark, would you want a price on estimate so you know how much dollars?
That's your question for them, that's not a question for me.
You don't, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
is there a budget for this? So you would need to know how much money you're gonna be budgeting out, so you need an estimate before you start.
Well, right now, the Mitchell Industrial Park Board has set aside 10,000. So you're looking at 20 different homes that could be in the first year. So if it catches, then you could, we don't have a budget item for that. So we would have to budget for it next year if they wish to continue.
And I would say, it would be first come, first served. I mean, if you had 100 people and you only had enough money for
Right.
50 people,
Right.
then it would be the first one to sign up, I would think.
Well, to his credit for the
Yeah.
question, you'd
Yeah.
have to know about what they wanna do, cause if Victor wants to do only $100 worth of stuff, but I wanna do 3,000, I wanna go get 500 of it back.
Yeah.
Then I know that I'm gonna take up that 500, but she may not have 500, we may have money to spend or whatever, so.
And it's first in, first
Thank you,
served,
Mark.
however that would work. Yes, ma'am.
That was kind of my question, was the criteria, as when people applied for that, how quickly would it
Right,
be
and
used? And also, as a homeowner, what if I'm, a landlord and I own 3 or 4 homes, do I have to be the residence owner that lives in the residence, or? can
I will have to get
apply
a little
4 times?
clarification on the landlords, because the landlords,
Landlords are not, they cannot apply.
Gotcha.
The renter can apply,
Okay,
but the landlord cannot.
that way people aren't taking advantage of it.
and most of the renting things, I think, were more like landscaping, or, not things that the landlord would be responsible for, like repairing a railing or repairing the steps. It was more of a beautification of their home.
So,
Mhm.
looking at the population of Seymour versus Mitchell, and there's 100 people basically doing this in Seymour after 2 or 3 years, so we're looking at hopefully having 10
It could be.
population wise.
Right. And I think that after we do 2 or 3, I think we will see how it works, how smooth it is or how smooth it is not. Now Seymour, they wanted licensed contractors only. Well, in a small town like this, you can't do the work yourself and me pay you for it. You can't have, and I think that's kind of a thin line there. I think we'll have to really, John Paul, you may have to help me get that so that it's, and Seymour even had trouble with people doing work a year before and coming and telling them they wanted reimbursed for that. That's really, we just gotta use some common sense. you
And
know,
I'm like
and.
you, I'd have to look into it.
Mhm.
For some reason, I was thinking they could do the work themselves, they just couldn't pay, but they can't get paid themselves.
No,
They
let's
could
say,
do the work
Right.
themselves
right,
and just
Pay for the material.
pay for the material.
Yeah.
Uh,
so if you're a gardener and you would like help with your landscaping, and you wanted to do it, and it was $500 worth of flowers and shrubs and everything, and when you let us know that you're finished, we come take the pictures, you're going to get half of what you spent in return.
That's a plus, I think that would help a lot, cause
Yes.
if you've got the possibility of doing it yourself.
Yes.
And that way you can double basically your money into.
So if you can put
what
that
you're
front
putting
door
into-
in, and that front door costs $500, we can give you $250 toward it to beautify the front. Does that sound like I've talked too long?
That way they could, do some of the labor, but wouldn't get paid for the labor.
Right, they
But
would not.
They would have extra money
Right,
that they wouldn't pay it for labor
Right.
for their flowers or shrubs.
right. But just, it would be the main thing is to keep your receipts. Keep everything, that you did, because we'll be doing pictures before, we'll do pictures after. And I believe the turnaround time for Seymour was about 12 days to get their checks out to them. So as soon as you get your things bought and you get it done, you'll wanna get us, you'll want that ball to get rolling so you can get your reimbursement.
What were the dollar amounts in Seymour?
Same, they were 500 per house.
Impressive.
They didn't have anybody really sign up much the first year.
no, they
And
said
they-
the first year maybe 4 or 5 tops.
Yeah.
Second year was really good, and then I think what she's saying here is third year, they've already got 100 people interested, so it is actually taking off
And I
really
tell you, it's
well.
another thing about the town too, people, that really helps each other. Neighbors there helped each other. They did the work with each other. And I thought that was just really fantastic, that it made their neighborhood look great. It made their street look great. And it was something they did as families, or they did together. It just wasn't Patty wishing somebody'd come and help her with 500 plants of pansies. That wasn't the idea. The idea was Shantine and I'll go help her, and then we'll reimburse her for half of what she paid. Thank you.
Thank you.